What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's Thursday, and your Savage Coach is back. Yes, Savage Talk with Keefa is on live. So you guys know what to do. Make sure you download that app 101 TKO Radio, or you can watch me on YouTube. Y'all can comment. Tell me if I'm lying. Look, I'll be waiting for y'all to send me some comments talking about Coach K, that is not true. But that way, if you're watching on YouTube, you can join in the conversation because I love when you guys chime in on all my shenanigans. But check this out, y'all. Bill collectors at your door. Y'all remember that song? You got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. Bill collectors at my door. So tonight, I'm going to be talking to you about, of course, artificial intelligence. But did you know that these bill collectors are going to be AI driven now? Yes. So you know how you get harassed by the bill collectors? It is going to be AI generated language. Okay, so look, these bill collectors is going to start calling y'all. You're not going to know you're talking to a robot. You're not going to know it. This is what's crazy. Like, really, I want you guys to think back. Do you remember? Now, I'm thinking back as a kid, right? You know, we all learned that in the mail, when the bills come, you ain't got to worry about them unless it's in a red envelope. Okay, but when that red envelope comes, if you don't take action, what ends up happening? Of course, if your electricity, your power get cut off, that's what happens if you don't pay attention to the red envelope. Your power get cut off, whatever. Then what you do? You use your kids' credit. You know, our parents use our kids' credit. That's how we all ended up with bad credit at 9. So our parents used our credit, our Social Security, they cut the power back on. But what happens to that bill that goes unpaid? Ooh, baby, it goes to collections. Y'all know these collection companies, so they buy all of this bulk in their mind. They see money. They see money because they buy this debt for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. Sometimes the debt can be thousands and thousands. And maybe they spend a little bit of money. So whatever chance they have to get this money back, they take it. Well, now I want you to visualize a world where all of that occurs digitally. So no longer is there going to be an actual person on the other line, even though it's a catch-22, because y'all know you hate when it's a real person that call you and they start asking you questions and you say, look, I don't have the money, I can't pay it. And they say, well, what can you pay? And you say, I just told you I can't pay nothing. Well, what can you pay tomorrow? You can't pay nothing today. I got it. But what about tomorrow and the next day and the next day? They will harass you until you say, well, look, y'all, will you take $5? So the thing is, will it matter to you if it's an actual person versus if it's not a person, but it is a chatbot? Because see, the chatbots, number one, they're going to work harder than real people. They really are. They can work all night long. So these debt collectors, sometimes the call centers, let's say they in the United States, it's only so many times, so many hours in the day that they can actually call people and not break the laws. But see, what about in other countries? Yeah, now the AI bill collectors, they can work 24/7 for pennies on the dollar, right? So y'all might remember last week I was talking about jobs where AI is already replacing people. Let's add this to the list. Bill collectors, credit collections. There is an art and a skill and a science behind debt collection. Now, I've never been a debt collector. I wouldn't want that job because I've seen both sides of it. I've seen the side of somebody who owes money and don't have it. And I've seen the side of somebody who's calling somebody who owes money, trying to get it back. Now, I'm talking about above board legal debt collection. I ain't talking about, your homies and your cousins skillet and, all that stuff going to collect the debt. We're talking about legal debt collection. And legally these debt collectors, once they collect all of the notes, whatever it is, it's some sort of note that they hold that they bought from the original person who lent the money, or corporation. Okay, so I'm breaking this down into easy terms. That's called a note. They buy all of these notes and then they try to collect on the money. Now, so it's data. It's data. It's like sales. There's a certain number of calls you need to make in order to make a certain number of sales. That's just how it goes. We talking money. So let's say out of 100 of these notes that they buy, maybe only 3 to 5% they'll be able to collect any money on. So you got to know your numbers going into it. But what's crazy is you don't need real people to do this no more. So these corporations that thrive on harassing people and bringing up their past, y'all know sometimes the debt can be 15 years old. And maybe you didn't see it on your credit report in a long time. So you like, oh, I'm straight. I'm going to go out and get this new Tesla. Yeah, I want the X model with the butterfly, the suicide doors. Okay, yes, $100,000. My credit is straight. I'm good. Then out of nowhere, right when you're ready to buy something, you get a call, right? You see it's an 888 number. It don't say spam, but it don't say a number, somebody you recognize either. So you like, maybe I know I put in a couple calls to, I don't know, the pharmacy, whatever. So you take a chance. Hello, it's Keefa. Keefa Hawkins. Who's asking? See, now they done messed up when they said Keefa Hawkins, because now I know you're trying to get something from me. But once you have already committed to, yes, it is Keefa, it is whoever it is on. They already come with their boxing gloves on, and they trying to knock your head off and get any kind of money they can get, because they already know they're working from statistics before you even know you're going to get a call. So in their mind, out of the 30 calls they're going to make during their shift, they know that they at least need to have 5 people commit to paying back a certain amount of money. Now, right now, these AI, these chatbots, these language learning models are learning, right? This is why this is important, you guys, because you have got to know that where ChatGPT was last November, we are light years ahead of where we were just a year ago. So these chatbots have the ability to learn. And what's crazy is not only are they going to collect all your information online that's already public, this chatbot can really learn down to a science. If when I call you, Keefa Hawkins, when I call Keefa Hawkins, she's going to be X% likely to pay. So they can find this information out online. This is data that's out there. Some of it's public, but see, some of it, this is the data that your Experian, Equifax, heck, even, listen, Facebook, Instagram, I run paid ads. I run paid ads all the time. They can look at my Facebook accounts to see how much money I spend in ads and assess a value of whether or not I am likely to pay a debt back. So you guys, this is part of your credit profile. So your credit profile with your online profiles and your internet presence, all of that data can be turned into numbers that can predict if you are likely to be someone to pay back if a debt collector calls you, or to be like, nah, more than likely, she's probably still broke. All of this data is there. And the chatbots are learning it as we speak. These credit agencies, these collection agencies, they are training these chatbots now. And they gonna call you and they gonna talk crazy. All of the stuff, oh my God, that we hate about the humans calling us, because you can go on TikTok and you can find the bill collector skit videos and all of that stuff. Nobody likes a bill collector. Nobody likes getting the calls. Nobody likes feeling like they got suckered into saying, yeah, this is Keefa. And as soon as you say that, they say, well, this is an attempt to collect the debt. Everything you say, you're on the recorded line, and you like, doggone, they got me. Kind of like if you ever been served for court. I'm telling you, this happened to a friend of mine. Somebody at the gym. Somebody came in the gym like they was looking to sign up, and they asked for one of my coaches. So yeah, they were interested in signing up. As soon as my coach came, they said, "Here you go, you've been served." Now I'm telling you, that's some low down, dirty, you know what. But it ain't nothing can be done at that point, because what you gonna say? I lied. I'm not Keefa. I'm not so and so. You can't do it. It's too late. Too bad. So sad. Now, when the AI robots call you about the money, what do you think? What do you think the primary outcome is going to be? Do you think if you keep saying what you might say to a human being that's calling, which is, we say all the human stuff. I don't have it. I just lost my job. Oh no, that person then died. They no longer, I didn't heard it all because I didn't watch the TikTok videos myself. Will it be possible and or plausible to tell an artificial intelligence entity them same lies we was telling before? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? I think the main thing is this. The main thing is that the language models are learning. Okay, so every interaction they have with a human being on the other line that says, I don't have the money, I don't actually owe that money, my ex-husband, that's his debt, whatever it is, all of that information is going into that chatbot. And you will also be training that chatbot. So every interaction is going to be training them. And to me, that's just crazy. It's crazy, but I always got to weigh both sides. So if I was someone who I believed in buying these notes and trying to recover some of the debt, this is great, because you know what? Sign me up. I want to replace all of my actual, well, not all. Let's say I start by replacing 65% of my actual recovery agents. That's what I'm calling them. I don't know what they're called. Bill collectors, collection agencies. I'm going to call them recovery agents. So I can replace my staff of, let's say I got 30 recovery agents. I can replace my staff of 22. I'll keep 8. But 22 of y'all mofos is gone, okay? And I'm going to start using AI to collect my money. Why? Because I don't have to hear y'all complaining about the people y'all talking to. You ain't got to worry about the stress. My robots don't have to worry about all of that. So it's kind of a catch-22. I like to give both sides. So look, y'all are listening to It's Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Don't y'all go nowhere, because I got more AI. We're going to be chopping it up this evening, okay? We'll be right back. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Keefa. Savage Keefa is on tonight. Y'all listening to Savage Talk with Keefa. We're on 101 TKO Radio, knocking them out the box. Always and always. So look, you can also call me. If you want to chime in, 678-439-7419, 678-439-7419. Or you can watch me on YouTube. We are talking about artificial intelligence that is now turning into your bill collectors. Okay? Yes, collections. If you owe money and it has gone to collections, you can start thinking about these bill collectors calling you, but they're AI. They're not real people. Now, so I've been trying to weigh the good and the bad. Now, the first thing is, any bill collector calling me, I don't want that. I don't care if it's human, robot, dog, alien. I don't want to be called by a bill collector. Okay, I'm one of those people. I really don't even talk on the phone a lot because I talk on the phone so much doing consults and all of that stuff. So I'm really not just a phone talker. Those days, like in high school, hey, what's up? What you doing? Nothing. Just sitting on the phone, watching movies together on the phone. That stuff is out. I don't want bill collectors wasting my time on the other line. So let's talk about some of the pros, because there are some pros to having artificial intelligence calling to collect money that is owed. There's obvious pros that I talked about if you are the credit collection agency. Of course, your bottom line is going to increase because you can get more work done with less people using artificial intelligence. Not only that, you actually can train your AI models that are making the calls. You can train them to do certain things. So let's say, for example, they're calling on a $1,000 balance that's owed on a credit card, and maybe you bought that $1,000 balance for $100. You bought the note, so now you can go and you can try to collect as much as you can. You can train your artificial intelligence callers. You can train them to do certain things when the debt is $1,000 or less. You can train them to take half, right? You can train them to negotiate to get half, right? Now, that might include a 3 or 4 minute conversation, and it's going to include them learning how to respond to specific comments, learning how to respond to angry people on the other line, learning what to do when they get hung up on. But you can actually have a template that all of your chatbots follow when the debt is $1,000 or less. So to me, that's a pro, because you can set it and forget it. Once you set it up, then you don't have to worry about it. Kind of like autoresponders and things. Okay, so that's another pro if you are the credit collection agency. Another pro is you don't have to worry about how long your employees can work. So when I said you're going to increase your bottom line with less people, because your chatbot really can work 24/7, probably not legally in the United States, just because we have specific times that credit collectors, anybody really, is allowed to call. And credit collections, I think they can't call you in the evening anymore, just like telemarketers. We have rules. However, who's to say you don't buy debt in another country and you actually can have your chatbots calling over to Mexico to collect debt from people in Mexico that owe, and your chatbot can be speaking in Spanish. So there's pros there. There's pros there. Now, let's talk about the cons. Again, if you are the credit collection agency, the cons is this. So initially, training your chatbots, that might or might not be expensive. It depends on what agency you go to and have them set up all of your chats. Because typically, like if I'm a credit agency owner, I'm going to go to another business who specializes in credit collections bots. That way, I don't have to build something from scratch. So maybe startup might be expensive. That's one of the downsides. Now, the other thing too is this, y'all, and this is important. Because AI is still very, very new, there's not a lot of laws and protections on the books that are going to protect you as a company or you as a consumer. And as things come up, like when people realize that these chatbots are worse than humans, like for example, maybe the chatbots get trained to harass you a lot harder than a human would harass you. Because remember, even though it might feel like you're talking to a human, you're not talking to a human. You're talking to a chatbot that's just taken data and it's formed a response that it thinks is going to be the highest likely response to what you just said to it. Okay, so think about how, your phone, now you can start texting and your phone will finish your text for you. Basically, all that the phone is doing is taking, based on data, based on your previous texting with that person, it's filling in words that it believes is the highest likely words that you're going to be texting. So think of your chat bots is that just on steroids to the nth degree. It is merely just taking lots and lots and lots of data, and it is learning. And based on what it's learned, it is giving what it thinks is a probable response to what you just said. So that can be a downside. That can be a downside. Now, let's talk about on the consumer side, meaning you're a regular person and maybe you owe some money and maybe it went to collections and that is your encounter with the chatbot. So number one, you may not even know you're talking to a robot. Because right now there's no laws that say if you're using a chatbot to make calls to someone, you have got to disclose that it is a chatbot. Or to my knowledge, there's no laws, there's no bills in Congress or anything that need to be passed. That's what I mean when I say it is so new. It's so new. We don't even know all of the ways that we need to be protected when it comes to AI. So when I talked Tuesday, I was talking about deep fake with IDs and deep fake celebrities on the porn site. Right now, there's no laws that say you can't do that. It's the Wild Wild West. It really is. It is the Wild Wild West. So if you're a consumer and you owe debt, there's nothing to say how many times the AI bot can call you if you hang up on it. Because like I said, you may not know you're talking to a chat bot. So let's assume you don't know you're talking to a chat bot and the bot is saying, you owe $1,000. Would you like to make arrangements to pay this back? And you say, no, I've been ill. I don't have a job. I don't have any money. I'm not going to be able to make arrangements today to pay that back. So that AI chatbot, if you let it, what if it goes on and on forever? And there's no standards in place that says this chatbot you can call a maximum of 2 times to the same number on the same day. When you do, the conversation cannot be longer than 3 to 4 minutes. Those laws don't exist. So I think that is one of the downsides. because not only when all of these debt collectors, when it becomes commonplace and common pockets, and when I say common pockets, that means your average consumer can afford some stuff, or your average small business. Right now, um, if I'm a small business doing credit collections, I may not have the finances to replace my team with chatbots, especially chatbots that are trained. I may not have the finances to do that. And if I don't have the finances to do it and I want it done, I need to have the knowledge. I have the knowledge to do it, but suppose I didn't have the knowledge or the money to do it. That's going to weed me out. So then what's left are the huge credit collections companies, and they're the only ones using it. So eventually, as all technology does, things get cheaper. So cost is usually a downside with any small business if they wanted to implement that. But as a consumer, it might be better for you in the long run, because suppose we have regulations that come down the pike. Eventually we will have regulations, but who can say when? Because as I said, we don't yet know what we need to be protected from when it comes to AI. Most of the time we're talking on a grand scale. Well, what if robots have access to the nuke button and they can end humanity? The reality is there are a lot more heinous and devious things people can do with AI that don't come even close to ending all of civilization. But it can very easily destroy a family's finances, destroy a family, anything like that. And in the microcosm of the world, most people are more afraid of things that can happen in their day-to-day life with their families than they are a robot ending world civilization. Like I don't think about that. I don't think about robots ending world civilization. I'm typically not a fearful person of AI and robots. I am more afraid of what AI can do to mess my credit up or something like that. Because seriously, y'all, credit is everything. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. Our country operates on credit. That's why our national debt is so high. We owe other countries so much money. It's insane. It really is insane because of credit, right? There is a credit crisis. I don't know if people talk about that, but there's a credit crisis. Probably most people we know owe some kind of debt. Okay, so let's say your immediate family and extended family, first cousins, second cousins, probably more than 75% of those folks in our families owe some kind of debt that is overdue, right? It might be school loans, medical bills. That's the number one violator, is medical bills. And it's because our healthcare system is backwards and crazy. And you can barely afford to get any type of health help that you need, especially if you need to go to the doctor. So the United States of America is the place where if you have a credit collections company or agency, or if you want to start a credit collections agency, you're going to make a lot of money if you do it right, especially if you know how to implement artificial intelligence. The reason is because there is no shortage of Americans that have delinquent debt. Americans have delinquent debt. I know for me, it was a rite of passage. My first credit card was a store called Mervin's. Oh my God, Mervin's. Yeah, they gave me like a $55 It was like a $55 or maybe a $300 limit. Uh, Mervin's was a store kind of like J.C. Penney's. Mervin's, J.C. Penney's. That's where I used to go to get my 501s. I'll put on layaway. But yeah, so Mervin's was the first credit card. So it's like a rite of passage for you to get a credit card and for your credit to get bad before you ever even graduate college. In fact, when you actually go to check out these colleges, you go to the college fairs, half of the vendors be credit card companies and people trying to give you money. So that really it's a United States cultural thing. So we are raised to get credit and renege on payments and go delinquent and end up with it on our credit. And then by the time you're in your 30s, you're looking for credit repair people. Because in your 20s, you just kind of let it go. You don't really care. You ain't got no money. You trying to, the little money you have, you don't even look at your credit report in your 20s. It's not until you in your 30s and you try to get your first car and like first new car, and you go to pull your credit report and they tell you your score is 492. You're like, well, wait a minute, how is that? Well, that's typically how it goes as an American. And from your 30s to your 40s, you spend trying to figure out how you're going to not have to pay all that stuff back, but you want it off your credit. Right? That's how it is. If I would have known I was going to owe all of this interest, nobody told me the interest rate was 29%. So all this time, every day, I've been going to buy me a sandwich at wherever, on campus, off campus. So yeah, the sandwich has been $7, but I'm paying 30% on every sandwich I done bought. And this is why not even college students understand when they get their credit card bills, why it is so high. Because the interest rate is calculated daily. It's not calculated monthly. See, these are all of the things we don't get taught. So by the time the bill collectors are calling, now they're going to be AI bill collectors. They already know your pattern. They know your payment pattern. So they will know what they can hit you with. Let's see, this is deep, y'all, because I love data. Because see, if I know that I'm getting ready to call someone whose profile says that, yeah, they don't like to just not pay nothing. They can look at my credit and say, well, maybe she don't pay for everything, but she always makes a payment at least once every 3 months. See, now I know how to approach when I call. That's what data does. And that's what the chatbots will be able to do. They'll have a profile on you. So they're going to know if you're likely to pick up the phone, if you're likely to offer some sort of settlement. And they'll know if you're likely not to offer nothing. So this is what we're talking about, y'all. And we got more than that. I'm going to be talking about Snoop Dogg and Master P and this cereal, the Fruity Hoops, the Fruity Loops, all of that. So stick around, lend me your ears. You're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. We will be right back after the break. Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Keefa is back. Savage Talk with Keefa is back. I hope y'all sticking around because look, you know what I want to talk about? And this is something that's near and dear to my heart because as little black children growing up in Oakland, now we all have memories of the sweet cereal we used to eat and begging our parents, begging them. Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops, Sugar Smacks. What was the other one? Frosted Flakes. Now that was if you was doing right. But if you wasn't doing right, you was getting cornflakes and Cheerios. And you had to put all your own sugar on there. Y'all remember that sugar that would sit at the bowl? Man, oh man, it'd be at the bottom of the bowl in the milk. So this is the thing. That was common. That was common in our households. And I'm sure that played a role in how Snoop Dogg and Master P came about wanting to create Broadest Foods and create the sweet cereal. Now, if you remember, I talked about collaborations. Well, here's another one. Master P, Snoop Dogg, and Post Foods. Y'all know Post Foods. They make the honey bunches of oats, the Kellogg stuff, all of the sweet cereal that y'all know we really don't need to be eating. You know how many grams of sugar? If you have any of that cereal in your house right now, I want you to get the box, look at how many grams of sugar is in one serving. And y'all know the bowls we use is not one serving. We're using mixing bowls. That's the truth, especially if mama and daddy ain't home. We try to eat it all and then try to hide it. Try to, do the package like so it looked like wasn't nobody in it. But see, now that I'm grown and I have bought the cereal, I know all of the tricks and the shenanigans when my kids try to do it. So Snoop Dogg, Master P, in collaboration with Post Foods. Now, I want you guys to think about this. When you go in the grocery store, it's all strategic. These people, the corporations that make the food, so they have to pay the grocery store. And based on where they get to put their food, that determines how much they pay in the grocery store. Don't think that when you see food just being delivered and you see the Coca-Cola people bringing the pallets and they just loading up all of the drinks, it is not free for Kroger, Publix to sell these corporations food. It's not free. So they pay a hefty price. So anytime you go in the stores, all of the shelves that are at eye level that basically hit you as soon as you start looking for something, they pay the highest amount of money because that is considered prime real estate. In stores, prime real estate is eye level. Anything that's above eye level where people have to reach is less. Anything that's on the bottom is less. All of your most popular stuff is going to be eye level, especially with sweet cereal within reach of kids, so the kids can see it. Okay, this is smart. This is smart marketing. And I want you guys to think about that because the cereal makers, they know who their target audience is. It's the kids. They're targeting the kids because they know the parents are going to get it for the kids. Okay. Now, with that being said, Post Foods, they probably make about, 50 to 65% of all cereal out there, even under different names. Just like Costco makes a lot of stuff and they sell it under the Kirkland brand. All of these, it's the same thing with cereal. So Post Foods, they make lots of cereal. But the name brand stuff sits at eye level, has the prime real estate. So the collaboration deal that Master P and Snoop Dogg did with Post Foods, according to them, they said that Post Foods agreed to take their products in and market them just the same way they would market Post Foods. Okay? So think about this. Think about it like that. If I adopt a child, the child believes the child is going to be treated just like a child that I birthed. No distinction. I'm not going to treat these children different. Even though one I birthed and one I didn't birth, but there is not going to be any distinction. But then after I make that agreement, what if now I take both the kids shopping, right? But I buy my biological child name brand stuff, and I buy my adopted child stuff from the Goodwill, right? I'm just making a distinction. Now, mind you, I love the Goodwill. I could spend hours in the Goodwill shopping. Okay, so it's no knock on Goodwill, Salvation Army. It's no knock on any of that. But what I'm saying is, I'm making the point that I made a distinction. And even though the Goodwill has great finds, how is that child going to feel if they see me buying my biological child name brand stuff, but then I'm taking them to the Goodwill? See, that's not right. So Snoop and Master P, they're claiming that Post Foods basically treated them like an adopted child, even though when they signed the agreement, Post said, I'm not going to make a distinction. We're going to market your cereal the same way that we would market our own cereal. And what happened is in Walmart, so Walmart is just one of the places that's on the distribution list, just like Kroger, Publix, Sprouts. You think of whatever store, they're just stops on the distribution list. So what happens, somebody goes into Walmart, Snoop Dogg and Master P, they see their sales is not popping like they thought they should be popping. And it turns out in Walmart, the broadest label cereal, the Fruity Hoops, like what's some of the other names? It reminds me of like the Rap Snacks and all of that stuff. But the Fruity Hoops, the Twerky Loops, whatever it's called, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. It turns out those cereals are not getting the prime real estate like the other Post cereals. So think about it. You go into Walmart, you see all of the Honey Bunches of Oats, all that stuff at an eye level. But then you see the not Rap Snacks, you see the Fruity Hoops on the very bottom shelf or on the lower shelf. Because first of all, people do not like getting stuff on them lower shelves. I'm going to tell you why. That lower shelf, this is what I think. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong or if you see it like this. That lower shelf, if I'm looking at the lower shelf, it's because I'm looking for something that's a closeout or something that's going to be on sale. Sometimes I feel like the rodents probably get on the bottom shelves and they be in the back. There is something about being on that bottom shelf that doesn't look expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the presentation. Now, look, if I'm going to Walmart, obviously I'm not going because I'm looking for something expensive. But if I am actually going into Walmart specifically to buy cereal, and let's say I don't already know what cereal I'm going to buy, I really want to see what's on sale, or I want to see what moves me, or whatever, I'm not looking at the bottom shelf. I'm really not looking at the bottom shelf. So if that is the case, Snoop and Master P have a valid point. In this lawsuit, I would say they're going to win if they can prove in the agreement, because it all goes back to what does the agreement say. Now, it can't say we post foods, we agreed to market market Broadest Foods with the same intensity that we market Post Foods. So I really need to see what does the agreement say, because I can tell you, I'm going to market. Let me give you a good example. Oh, it just hit me. Because since now there's so many people that's in the digital marketing and they have agencies and they claim to be, Facebook, Instagram ad experts and all of this stuff, right? So let's say you come to me and I tell you, yeah, I'm going to market. I agree to market your products and services exactly the way I market my products and services. Exactly. I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I do for my own products and services. Now, who thinks that that's a great deal? Like, who would actually think that that is great? I'm going to do exactly for you what I do for myself. Now, see, for somebody who's not in the digital marketing world, they would say, well, that's great. You're going to do exactly for me what you do for yourself. And I know you're successful. Your ads are, you make lots of money with your ads, whoop-de-whoop. To someone who is not in that sphere, it sounds like a great deal. But the reality is, the way that I became successful marketing may not work for your products and services, even if it is in the same genre. I might be marketing my tennis shoe. You might have a tennis shoe, but you have a totally different ideal client that should be buying your shoes. Now, the thing is, Snoop Dogg and Master P, they rappers. They're hip hop moguls. Does that mean the same kids that are going to buy the Honey Bunches of Oats are going to be into the rap mogul sweet cereal? Maybe, maybe not. But see, if you are a black or brown person, you know this. We know this better than anybody. Equal doesn't mean equitable. So you might give me the same exact marketing package as I do for myself, but that does not mean it's going to make you the same amount of money that it does for me. So a contract, if I want equitable, the contract needs to read something that shows equitable, which is not, I'm going to do exactly for you what I do for myself. No, because see, you need to market to my ideal clients. If you're doing exactly what you're doing for yourself, you're marketing to your ideal clients with my product, and that could lose all my money and nobody could buy it. So I need it for my ideal audience. So they may have a claim. I don't know. What do you guys think? Actually, who has been to Walmart? Who has eaten this cereal? Who's seen the cereal at Walmart on the shelf? See, now I'm curious. I'm going to have to go by a Walmart, walk in the cereal aisle. See, for me, walking in the cereal aisle is like, it's going to be a quick sprint for me. Because I just, I don't look at all the sweet cereal. And the sweet cereal that I do buy, like for my children, I might buy the generic version because I go to Lidl. I might buy the generic version of Honey Bunches of Oats or something for $1.99. And they have, instead of Honey Nut Cheerios, they have Honey-O's for $1.75. I get that kind of stuff because it's the same stuff. So for me, going down the cereal aisle is quick. But see, some families, it's about a 12-minute experience going down the cereal aisle. Right. And I mean 12 minutes. Like for real, 12 minutes. And none of that 12 minutes is spent looking at the ingredients on the side of the box. It really is. I think cereal, the the cereal buying experience for people who like sweet cereal is similar to the car buying experience for people who like buying cars. Like they test drive it, and I think people get a high when they know they're gonna buy a car. New or new used, they know they're gonna buy a car. They get a high, right? Looking at the cars. Now, get all the salespeople out the way. We ain't talking about them because they can make car buying experience terrible. They really can. They can make the experience terrible. But for the folks who like the idea of, ooh, I'm about to go get in a new car. I'm gonna smell that leather. Yeah, just walking around a lot, like looking at the stickers on the windows. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people. I get exhilaration from it. You know why? I get exhilaration from it because it's data. I like looking at the window stickers, looking at the manufacturer's suggested price, the retail price, and then going to my phone, looking at, okay, what does Edmund say? What kind of ratings did this get? I like doing that because it's data. But the minute a salesperson comes up to me and says, oh, yeah, you like this car? You ready to test drive it? Nope, I'm done. I know what I want and I'm ready to go. Because I don't want to deal with the sales experience. I really don't. I don't want to. And it's the reason why most of those salespeople are men. You want to know why? Women are just not made that way. They're not. I'm going to talk about that when we get back. You're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. Don't go nowhere. We're coming right back.
Streets, man.
What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back. 678-439-7419. You can call in live 678-439-7419. We got about 30 minutes to go. So we've been talking about AI, bill collectors at your door. We've been talking about all of this sweet cereal. Man, oh man. Sweet cereal on its own has probably sent about, I'm going to tell you, about 30% of our population to the diabetes clinics. I'm not exaggerating, y'all. I'm telling you, sodas and sweet cereal. That is at the top of the list. I will put that in the top 5 reasons why our people end up with diabetes. Sweet cereal, soda. The top reasons, for real. And sometimes trying to get people to let go of that sweet cereal, I'm telling you, it can be a struggle. So I'm interested in seeing what the contract actually said. So before the break, that's what we were talking about. We're talking about Master P and Snoop Dogg collaborating with Post Foods. This collaboration, now I'm not excited about it like I was with Snoop Dogg in 19 Crimes. Now that's really the only collaboration I'm talking about that's really popping. Okay, and now add the 19 Crimes Snoop Dogg Gold Champagne to the list. It makes the best mimosas. Yes, it does. The best mimosas. You got to try it if you haven't. But so on the sweet cereal thing, the first thing I'm going to say is, look, the reason why they decided to collaborate on this cereal is because they know how we eat. And that ain't a good thing, y'all. You think they'd be making this sweet cereal if we wasn't buying it? Now, that's not to say that rappers, hip hop artists, they're not going to invest in healthy foods and healthy drinks, because I think they do that too. But the quickest way to the money is the junk food. I mean, why do you think they was making rap snacks? They ain't jumping to make no vegan burger patties. Right? I tell you what, if Snoop Dogg did a collaboration with a carrot company and came out with Snoop Dogg Scooby Snacks or something like that, and all it is a carrot, them little carrots you can buy in the store in the bag right now. Would you buy carrots if you didn't already buy carrots? Probably not. But now here's the thing. The people like me who love hip hop, who are of a certain age, and we eat healthy and want to be healthy, I would buy Snoop Dogg Scooby Snacks. I would. And that would open Snoop up to a whole different market. So I think sometimes collaborations, they're always about money somewhere. That might not be the only reason, but they are always about money. And money is going to be the top of the reasons, not the only reason, but it's going to be in the top 3 reasons for doing a collaboration. And yeah, money can come in different forms. Sometimes I say it puts you in front of an audience you wouldn't normally have access to. That's money. That's the whole reason why you want to be in front of somebody else's audience. They've already spent the time and the money to build the audience. Now you collaborating with them gives you access to that same audience. So that's money. But I wish I wish these rappers would get together on a collaboration that will save people's lives by building their health. Right? So instead of the fruity hoops and the fruity loops and the twerky snacks and rap snacks and all of that stuff, not to say stop doing that, but I'm all about having a diverse portfolio. Snoop's got wine, he's got the cereal, he's got the sport drink. Now give us some carrots. Something healthy. Y'all know I'm using carrots as an example. Who likes to eat just raw carrots? Now they're good for juicing, but I don't prefer to eat just raw carrots. However, I'll do it to get and keep the body I want. See, I'm that type of client. I'm that type of person. I'm going to eat what I need to eat. I don't care if it's green and it tastes nasty. See, I'm going to do it because my priority is to my health and the physique that I want. And my actions have to reflect what I say my priority is. So you guys know, when you come and see me talking about you want to lose weight and I ask you, well, what is your priority? Is your priority the number on the scale or the size that you wear? They're two different things. And that means I got to program different things based on what you tell me. Because a lot of women, they want to weigh 125 pounds like they used to in high school. They don't care nothing about that. They just want to be able to say they weigh 125 pounds. It's my same weight I've been wearing since high school. Meanwhile, there's other women who say, I just want to get out of this size 16 and get down to a size 12. Well, see, guess what? What if I can get you from a 16 to a size 12, but you weigh the exact same you weigh now? So what is the priority? If you tell me your priority is getting down to that size 12, and I know you eat Fruity Loops, I'm going to tell you, look, you got to cut the Fruity Loops out altogether. No, you can't have any of it. You got to just purge that out your system because it's all sugar. So I would like for them to start getting into some healthy stuff. But this is what I want y'all to get from it. Number one, get the collaboration. Think about collaborating. How can you bring value to other businesses? I'm sure Master P and Snoop Dogg said, look, Post, we already know, yeah, you have you got a lot of little black and brown kids eating y'all cereal because it's sweet cereal. However, it ain't hip, it ain't dope, it ain't fly, it ain't lit. Most of the cereals that y'all got don't represent us. Yeah, we buy them and we eat them, but the truth is, traditionally, black and brown people have always bought things that don't represent us. That's just how it is in America. See, in America, some black and brown people believe the white man's ice is colder. And so if they have side by side, and something else just came to me. If they have Snoop Dogg's Fruity Hoops right next to the Post Honey Bunches of Oats, it's possible that Post feels like it's going to actually detract from their brand. Because y'all know what I'm talking about. Just like in the neighborhood. Oh, here they come. Property values is going to go down. Look who we got next door. It might be time to move. You know what I'm talking about. It's the same thing in grocery store real estate. See, we're talking about real estate, homes, condos, And we're talking about shelf real estate. Eye level, upper eye level, mid, lower eye level. Eye level's prime real estate. What if they don't want us next to them on the prime real estate? Because it's going to bring their values down. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, that only just literally just came to me while I was talking it through to y'all. You see how y'all help me? You see how y'all help me? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I get smarter. I get smarter. You guys help me to get smarter because I am talking it through and it hit me like a ton of bricks. It is like that, man. I'm telling you, grocery store real estate is like that. During the break, you guys didn't hear this, but I was telling Nelson, when I was in my early 20s, I might have been 20 years old or something. I was a merchandiser for Kraft Foods. And I learned so much about the whole grocery store game. And let me tell you, Kraft Foods, y'all know Kraft salad dressings, not just macaroni and cheese, but Kraft makes so many things. Think of the salad dressing aisle. Half the stuff is owned by Kraft, even if when it's not under the Kraft brand name. Okay, so think about that. So I set up displays, and when I tell you the money that Kraft paid to have a display on the end of an aisle that says, 2 for $5 or whatever it is. See, Kroger and Publix, these grocery stores, they making their money. You think they're making money by selling products. They buy products at a wholesale discounted price and they mark it up, sell it for retail value, and that's how they're making their money. No, it's not. That's not how they're making their money. That is why if you go to these stores like on a Sunday or whatever day they do their markdowns, that's why they can afford to sell that stuff so doggone cheap. They are making money selling real estate. Real estate is valuable. Listen, y'all tell me if I'm lying. Real estate is valuable everywhere in the world. Even in countries that are in war, real estate is valuable, y'all. So when you have space, okay, everything is space. Everything is space. Your body is space. It's valuable real estate. You got to take care of it. Right? Your car, that's space. You got to take care of it. You don't want to get in a car accident. So all real estate has value to somebody, even if it's not you. The most valuable real estate is your mind, baby. It is your mind. That is the most valuable real estate in the world, in your world. And we all individually, we have our worlds. And our worlds are going to be as grand or as small as we make it. Okay? So look, this is exciting, y'all. Okay, so listen, call back. We got a caller on the line, 678-439-7419. Just give us a holler back. But so real estate, I'm giving you examples of value in real estate outside of house and home. Okay, and that's what I need you to see, because if you have real estate, it's valuable to somebody. I say this all the time. And half the time I'm joking, half the time I'm not. I say it all the time. Oh, and Jewel, I'm going to come right to your comment too. I say all the time, you know what? I need to just go on and rent my deck in my backyard out, or this whole oasis. I just need to rent that out because people want to do videos on it. Yeah, and I've had friends do videos and stuff. But I could just rent it out. I spent the money to make my oasis beautiful, and other people find it beautiful. It's valuable. People see beauty in it. I could rent it out if I wanted to. So think about your own real estate. Take care of your body. Don't rent it out. Don't sell it. Okay? Women, y'all know what I'm talking about. You too valuable to just be out there having men all up in your real estate. You know what I'm saying? But check it. Okay, so Jules says Black Americans are disproportionately affected by diabetes compared to other racial groups in the US. Do you feel that unhealthy collaborations are contributing? Absolutely. Absolutely. We have unhealthy collaborations in food. We have unhealthy collaborations in music. You know, I'm so glad you pointed that out. We have unhealthy collaborations in medicine. Really, we do. We do. And I'm sure we can find the unhealthy collaboration in everything, just like we can find great collaborations. Unfortunately, though, to your point, in the United States, we have lots of collaborations and things in general that contribute to Black and brown people's dis-ease. Okay, disease is dis-ease. We're not at ease for so many reasons. And I'm going to tell you, number one is the finances. If we don't have our finances together, which starts where? What did I say is your the most important real estate? Your mind. Your mind. If we don't have our finances together, we can't get medical treatment. We can't buy the food that's healthy. You know, cheap, unhealthy foods is always cheap. The unhealthy stuff is always cheap. It's always on sale. But you know what? Those brands that have high standards, that are selling healthy foods, that are made of quality ingredients, it's rare they go on sale. It really is. It's rare they go on sale. Just like great coaches, right? Great coaches don't discount their coaching. No. Like, whose slogan is the low price leader? Walmart. The low price leader. Now, if you want to be the low price leader, remember who you're competing with. Now, there's a Walmart in every niche, okay? Walmart sells goods and some services. They do like tires and all of that stuff. But you know, you get what you pay for when you go to Walmart. If you go to get some tires installed, they may know what they're doing, but it's possible your lug nuts don't get done right. They're the low price leader. Now, what about with service? You can think of your mobile phone, your cell phone. There's companies out there where it's $15 a month. Y'all remember, was that Metro PCS? It was like $35 for everything. Or maybe it's Cricket Wireless. But you know what I'm saying. There's some who their whole game is, we going to be the lowest. Can't nobody beat our prices. Is that who you want to be in your business? Do you want to collaborate with someone who's like that for your business? That's the worst place to be, unless you're Walmart. There is nobody who's going to beat my prices. Like, I have never ever said that in my business. Never, never, never. Because I am not the low price leader. I am all about giving you what you need, the best value. And that's not the cheapest. Because look, you guys, this equation, I've talked about it before. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a product, a service, collaboration, solo, or whatever. You are always going to have three things at play. Okay, you're going to have the cost, you're going to have the quality, and you're going to have time. Now, when you change any one of those things, it's going to affect the other two. And let me give you an example. If you want something that's going to be done the fastest, well, if you want it the fastest, it's not going to be the cheapest. And the quality, who can say what the quality is going to be? Right? Think about let's say your pipes froze. And as a result, the pipe burst and you got a flood, so you need your pipes fixed. Well, you call a plumber. You call one plumber. He says, look, I can come out there tomorrow, but it's going to cost you $3,000. I'm going to take care of all of it. Great service. It's going to be fixed, but it's going to cost $3,000. You said, what? No, this is the pipe. It shouldn't cost no more than $1,000. Yeah, that's true, but this is an emergency. Do you want it done like ASAP? Because I can come tonight if you want me to. Right? So you want it faster, you're going to pay more money. Or you can call Uncle Charles. You know, Uncle Charles, he used to work for the city. He was a plumber for the city of Atlanta. He's retired. So, you know, he's also a disabled veteran. So he goes bowling on Fridays. He goes to CrossFit on Saturdays. His doctor's appointments at the VA through the week. But Uncle Charles can fix your pipe. So Uncle Charles said he'll do it for free. You just got to buy the parts. But he probably can't come for about 3 weeks. And he hadn't done no plumbing in about 10 years. So look, you can get it all for free, but it's going to take a long time to do. And you don't know what the quality is going to be because Uncle Charles then got old. So you see where I'm going? If you want the best, it's going to cost. And it's likely, if you want the best, it's going to take a little bit more time because quality work takes time. Now, if you don't care about quality and you just want something cheap, it's probably going to be slow. Work with Uncle Charles and the quality might be so-so. Kind of like if you did it yourself. You know, you got to get the book, you got to read how to fix it, and you're probably going to miss some steps. So it might be fixed and it might work for the next 3 years before the next time it breaks down. So always cost, quality, and time. If you adjust one, it's going to affect the others. You can't have all three of them at the same time. Listen, you're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So don't go nowhere, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Keefa is back. Yeah, and we on our final stretch of the show. So let's go down the list. We've been talking AI, bill collectors at my door. Are y'all old enough to remember that song? Ain't nothing going on but this year rent. This year rent. Okay? And it's funny because nobody was singing songs of mortgage payments. It was always rent. Ain't nothing going on but this here rent. You see how we just get conditioned? Man, it seems so crazy. I never heard of a mortgage payment until I was grown. It was always rent, 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 rent. Paying somebody else's bills. Back then, we used to have to go, we had PG&E in Cali. You'd have to go to the PG&E building, get in line to pay them bills. That's when folks was writing checks. I don't even think my kids know how to write a check. They may not even know what a check is. Ain't nothing going on but this tier rent. And now the robots gonna be calling me about me paying my rent late. They come to collect. So we've been talking about artificial intelligence taking over the jobs of real people, bill collecting. We also been talking about Snoop Dogg and Master P making a cereal that's causing all this here diabetes. These diabetes, all of that stuff, y'all. Swollen ankles. Look, that's salt and sugar. That's salt and sugar. Don't pretend like you don't know why your ankles swell up. I mean, yeah, now maybe you've been on an airplane and all that, and yeah, I didn't heard it all. I know you forgot to put on your compression socks. But what about yesterday and the day before that? Your ankles were swole, like swole, SCHWOLL, swole. So the thing is this though, y'all. I'm always gonna advocate health. I'm always gonna advocate wealth. I'm always gonna advocate building healthy relationships. Artificial intelligence don't change any of that. Those things, if you're human, those things are always going to be important, irrespective of what you're doing with AI. Really is. If you're human, you're human. So the sweet cereal, as much as I want to co-sign on it, I do want to go to Walmart just so I can see if what they're saying is accurate. I want to see the real estate that they're taking up in the Walmart store. And if there is a huge distinction between where that cereal is and where the other Post cereal is. Because if they have a legitimate case, they're going to get paid. Like really, really, they're about to get paid. I don't know how much, but probably depending on what their contract said, you know, it's going to be lots of millions, lots and lots of millions. And when these rappers get old, what else they going to do besides collaborations and make stuff? Because they done got tired of being on the road. They done got to the point to where the young rappers is saying they don't got it no more. Right? Because they don't want to hear the same type of music. So they got to do something to maintain their wealth. And that's assuming, you notice I said maintain. That's assuming that they're currently wealthy. If they're not currently wealthy, it ain't maintaining. It ain't maintenance. It's creating. But I love the idea of diversification. And that's what I want y'all all to get and to do. You have to diversify your real estate, okay? I'm not just talking about homes, condos, I described what real estate is, and that's valuable to people. You have got to diversify what you're doing. So, yes, if you sell products and services, you have to tease out what's your superstar product? What's the one thing? What is the one thing that's going to catapult your business? And once you've figured out who your ideal clients are for that one thing, and you know how to create ads or you know how to create content to go get those people, then you introduce more. Because y'all remember, well, you may not remember, you may not know. You remember Sears and Roebuck? Before all the Sears was going out of business, well, Sears started with making watches. Yeah, Sears started with making watches. And then they became a department store. Yeah, so I'm saying, you guys, we all start somewhere, but you have to diversify so that when something does happen, and believe me, the win always comes, you just need to be prepared. When something happens, it will happen. Some parts of your business will do great, and then other parts of your business may not. I'm going to give you an example. Me being in the fitness industry, I'm going to say probably about 10 years ago, it was a company who came out with some workout pants. Now, these workout pants were special material. They really, in my eyes, not special material, but it's like the material they use now for swimming suits. Doesn't fade, doesn't stink, it doesn't hold sweat. Lots of people were making those type of workout clothes, but this company in particular, the company was called K-Deer, K-Deer. She made her pants with these stripes, okay? And she would come out with limited quantities. They were $98. Yes, one pair of pants was $98, and I was buying them because I believed in the brand. And every month when she came out with a special striped edition, she tied it to a charity. So it was always a collaboration brand. All of the stripes were tied to a charity. Well, what happened when the pandemic hit, she could not get any more of that fabric from China. So this is one of the things that happened, and her business was doing great. But because all of her apparel relied on that one type of fabric, and that was what she was known for. Even when she tried to introduce a different type of fabric, which was like a stretch bamboo, it wasn't enough to save her business. So all of us meaning her customers and clients who were supporting her by spending $98 for one pair of workout pants, we weren't interested in any other fabric. We really weren't. So when she tried to introduce it to us, we didn't buy it. Instead, what she should have done was create an entire new ideal client for that fabric. Yeah, that's what she should have did. Because, see, once you're accustomed to something, and this is why I tell y'all, don't cheap yourself. Don't do discounts or none of that. Because, see, once you get someone accustomed to a thing, they're going to always want that thing. And if you've been giving them something discounted, cheap, or free, they will never, ever respect the value that it really is. Okay? So I got used to spending $98 for these special edition pants. I didn't want to spend $50 for a different fabric. I didn't care that it was cheaper. You see where I'm going with it? So even though she tried to sell us all something cheaper, we were accustomed to a particular value and thing. So instead of her trying to sell that to us, she could have created an entire new ideal client and found the people who wanted that thing. And I believe that would have saved her business until the other fabric was able to be produced again. So you got to diversify. But when I say diversify, I don't mean just get a bunch of different stuff and try to throw it at your same customer. You get a thing, you have an ideal client for that. You get another thing. And if it's not a product that your ideal client would naturally gravitate to, then you got to find other ideal clients for that product. But I always believe in what I call my spiral revenue model. You sell your client one thing, you need to know once they experience the benefits of that one thing, what's the next thing to happen? Okay, so I always use the example. You join my gym, yeah, you're going to lose weight. Once you lose weight, what's next? See, I have to know what my client's journey is going to look like so I could already have the next thing for them. And then I don't have to go find new ideal clients. If you start CrossFit, it's inevitable. Once you lose weight, you want to become better at lifting. Okay, so I got that. I already got the next lifting thing for you. Yeah, once you lose weight, I know what's coming next for you. And that's what you got to do in your businesses. And that's what these rappers should be doing in their businesses, okay? So look, you guys, we've been talking about artificial intelligence. We've been talking about cereal, giving our people diabetes. We're talking about the bill collectors at the door. Nothing going on but this here rents and all of this stuff. It's Thursday. We've been talking about it on Savage Talk with Keefa, okay? 101 TKO Radio. I'm on every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. talking all things artificial intelligence, up-leveling your life, letting it do the heavy lifting, create more wealth, create more health. I'm your coach. I'm Coach Keefa. You've been listening to Savage Talk with Keefa, and I am out.